find out. It's our first episode of the Forgettable Podcast. Just two 20-somethings that are talking about everything they know, which isn't much. But I hope that this finds you interesting.
Finds you interesting?
Yeah, like finds you well, but finds you interesting.
I got it. Yeah, I got it.
You know.
You know, the use. This is an idea we have had for so long. And for it to, like, actually, like, happen and exist is crazy.
Yeah, I made it out the group chat for real. Okay.
It was definitely, like, an idea. And it was like, oh, like, let's do a podcast, like, one day as, like, a joke or whatever. And then, like, on Christmas, she got a podcast and I was like, oh, wait, this is, like, for real happening.
And then we got the little setup and everything, and we've had a camera. So, I mean, why not? She's got a MacBook, so we're making it happen.
The 20-somethings are doing it.
Yep.
Are doing it. I don't even know what to talk about. Like, you gotta, like, introduce yourself. Oh, we gotta say who we are.
I'm Jasela Plemons. Recently got married.
Let's see the ring. Let me see. It looks so good.
No longer single lady.
She had the most fun wedding. You had such a fun wedding.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your wedding. Like,
okay.
I feel like we've already done it one-on-one, but now the viewers have to listen about it because why not?
Okay, well, what do we
It was so fun.
It was beautiful. It was everything I wanted. This sign right here was our first dance song, so Light My Love by Greta, which you know.
Shout out Greta Van Fleet
in
case you guys ever want to listen.
I mean, my sister did try to reach out to you and ask you guys to come play at our wedding or whatever, but it's fine.
Whatever.
But no, so the whole wedding was kind of like themed around like just some like natural like things that are timeless that I can look back on and love forever. And I'm very glad. Like, it turned out beautiful. It turned out perfect. Everybody that I showed the pictures, they were like, wow, like, this is so timeless. Like, girl, your rear delts are insane. Like, you look awesome. Look at your back.
Your back was toned for real. It looked good.
Yeah.
Plus, they played no hands, and so I'm pretty satisfied, okay? It wasn't my wedding, but I heard no hands, and I was outside, and I ran inside like we were at a party. I was like, wait, it's my song!
I do feel a little, like, conflicted about the music because we had so many songs that just didn't make the cut. And I know that it was also because, like, it was a Monday night, so people kept leaving. They kept, like, leaving after dinner once the music started. And then I know, like, my bosses and stuff like that, like, obviously they had to work. And, like, everybody had to work, but also, like, the older people maybe felt a little uncomfortable with the first music, but all the kids were having fun. So it's like, you couldn't really cater to everyone. And so then when you played a slow song, then the kids didn't want to dance anymore, and then the adults did. So it was just like very wiggly of people getting involved. But hopefully there was a lot of kids there, so hopefully it was like the parents were happy and stuff like that. And but yeah, at least I don't feel to blame for the music because the DJ just kind of freestyled and did his own thing.
Yeah, he did.
So if somebody has a problem with it, I'll give you the contact and you can go talk to them.
Yeah. But there were definitely some songs that like I thought he should have played because it dealt well with both audiences, but he like didn't.
Yeah.
Because I guess like he saw how like the younger kids that were reacting, and so like we were the majority on the dance floor, so he was like catering to us. But like at the same time, like there are songs that we grew up with, and so did our parents at the same time because they were like driving us around, and it was on the radio.
Mac?
Yeah, I know. And you love Fleetwood Mac.
I know.
Like that should have been one of the first suggestions on there.
Oh.
Jasela Perez.
It's okay. It didn't break. It's fine.
I bought her a record for her birthday.
It just has a little link.
Oh, no. I bought her a record for Christmas. Wait, sit down. I need to tell this story.
Hang on. Let me insert this clip.
The silence is deafening right now. No, okay. So on Christmas, I bought her a Fleetwood Mac vinyl, but it was like obviously wrapped in the wrapping paper, and like midway through you opening it, you're like, is this a Fleetwood Mac vinyl? Are you freaking kidding me? I was like, there's no way.
Because you know me so well that I know me and what I would want. And so I just knew that's something I would want.
Right.
And so it was easy to get. because we've known each other for.
We're just that cool.
First grade.
It's a long time.
I don't even know.
It's 13.
How old were we when in first grade?
16 years? Oh, so we've known each other for 16 years, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, fun fact of the day, Sel and I have known each other for 16 years.
And our parents have 2 kids together that are
my name's Belma, in case anybody was
yeah, we haven't got to that part
Anyways,
yet.
we'll go back.
But, yeah, so we'll get back to that horseshoe in a second.
Right.
But, yeah, so I didn't play any Fleetwood Mac, which is fine. But, you know, and, like, we had a bunch of other songs. Like, Bruno Mars would have been, like, really good to play. Like,
that would have been phenomenal.
Yeah. That one would have been so good. Everybody would have been getting down.
Mm-hmm.
He did play some Hispanic music, though, which was nice because my grandparents danced and stuff like that. So
right.
That was good. Becky killed it. Becky Troy's mom. My husband, Troy.
Listen, Apple Bottom Jeans played, and Becky was on that floor.
She got down
She was
to it.
having the time of her life, which made me so happy because originally when we asked Becky, she was like, "Oh no, I don't know about that." And then I caught her. She's like in the middle of a conversation when I came up to her, and I was like, "Are you busy?" And she was like, "No." And I was like, "Come here." And she started laughing, and I said, "No, come here." And
yeah,
I was dragging her back
joking.
to the dance floor, and it was just so fun seeing her actually dance. Yeah. You cannot kill the groove, DJ. Yeah. We've had murder on the dance floor stuck in our head for weeks now. Shout out to... Never mind.
No, shout that out. I did not see that. She did. I did.
Kidding. Frick.
Back to our family situation.
What was I talking about?
So we met in first grade at, obviously, elementary school. We were both walkers. We both lived like 5 minutes away from each other.
Yeah.
And which I don't know why my mom let us walk. Do you remember that house where the guy painted the symbols on it?
Yes.
And he was always shirtless, and he was like hippie.
And then he always had like cop cars in front of it. It was like always weird, like
he was
symbols,
spooky. He was like a witch or something for sure.
It just was like it like didn't make sense, and like I know that the neighbors beside him had always complained about him. Like he was like definitely diving into something that was like odd. I don't know what it was, but it was freaking weird.
It was, and it was always. He was so weird.
Or when he was outside when we would walk home, and then he'd be like looking at us, but he wouldn't say a word.
I know, and John would be like trying to grab me, like scoot me away and stuff. Yeah.
But then it's also like he had a creepy house on one side, but the other side of the road that we walked on, like it was a busy road. So there was like so much going on that it's like try to shuffle them away, but like not shuffle you away into the road. Like it was a whole thing.
And then do you remember that one time? I don't know if you remember, but me and John were walking to school one morning. And there was the guy who had just got out of prison, and we were being, like, followed or something like that, but we ended up going, and Miss Beckner and a police officer sat us down and asked us, like,
did you see this man? And the police
No, not Miss Beckner, Miss Bergner.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about her.
I loved her, though.
Shout out.
She was, like, I always thought she was, like, mean and scary, and then when we graduated and she wrote in my yearbook that she stayed because, like, me and John, like, waited for us to graduate, I was like, you actually liked me? I was on red all the time.
Bro, us as kids are so funny.
I was so bad.
Shout out to her.
But
wait, that's insane. Why did you... I don't remember ever hearing about this.
Yeah, it just... And then every time I try to look it up, like... I can't ever find anything about it. It was a black gentleman and a white gentleman. And the white gentleman was driving the car, and the other guy was the one that he was, like, yelling at us, or something had happened to make us, like, go report to them. But it's so vague. It's been such a long time.
I know.
But, yeah, that's...
How did I not... I literally did not know about this.
Yeah. I think John was in the 5th grade or something like that. And I guess he's 3 years older than me, so... I was in, what? 3rd? Second grade.
I don't remember. Oh, 2nd grade was the time. That was when you and I were in the same classroom.
Yeah.
They definitely, like...
Miss Patterson
did a thing where it was, like, you and I could not go back in the same, like, classroom. Or, like, like, when we had Miss Dunn and Miss Knight, we had it opposite. Like, we would pass each other in class or whatever, but it's, like, we didn't have the same class since 2nd grade. But that's also because, like, you and I would create trouble all the time. All the time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I will never forget in 2nd grade when we had those little toys that were like circular, and then like you rolled it and the little thing would pop out.
Yeah, the
Zoobles? Yeah, Zooble things. Yeah. Zooble or Zooble?
Zoobles.
Yeah, Zoobles or whatever. And she took it away from me, and she put it on the shelf, and every single day I came into that classroom, I washed on the shelf. Then we had a sub, and I went up to her and I said, Miss Patterson told me, like, I could get that back today or whatever, and she let me get it back. Miss Patterson did not tell me that. I literally took it back because it was my Zubul, okay? The Zubuls were very important.
We were so bad in her class. Everybody, there was people, like, kissing under the desk. Like,
yes.
That was funny.
Somebody threw up on me during TCAP. Titus threw up on me.
I think I peed my pants in 2nd grade. And I think the guy that we all, me, you, Brooke, and you, we dated. I think they also peed their pants too in that grade. But I think that, like, justified it for me. And I remember, I think Miss Kimball. I think it was Miss Kimball, but I told her what had happened, and then she, like, was, like, hiding me behind her and stuff, and took me to the front of the office to go get stuff out of the lesson down.
Shout out to her, though.
Yeah, but they would not let you go inside to go to the bathroom. Like, so I was just like, well, I can't do it anymore. I gotta go.
Yep.
You remember the playground? It was so rickety, but the metal bars that looked like a rainbow, and every time you'd run up it, you'd, like, fall and hit your crotch. It was every time. Because we all want to play tag and stuff, and we just, boom! And then you just get down, and you don't even know what to think. Like, you're like, my whole body weight just, like, fell on top.
In elementary school, on the lower side of where, like, the first graders were at that playground, one of the poles, like, one of the monkey bars was so low, and every single time, without fail, I full-on book it, and would always slam my head against the monkey bars.
Yeah, you did.
Everybody would just be walking, and I'd be like, I literally slam my head. I'd be bawling my eyes out every time. I'd be concussed for something.
Dude, I swear, if you end up with brain damage and I end up not being able to have kids, we're suing you. We're suing you if it still exists. But also, remember on the monkey bars when I knocked out Jackie's tooth?
I will never forget that. I remember when it happened, and then after the fact,
so bad.
After the fact, everybody was like, "Did you know Stella knocked out somebody's tooth?"
They acted like I did it on purpose.
I know.
I was like, she shouldn't have been standing in front of the monkey bars. And she was my best friend. Why did I want to knock her tooth out?
The elementary beef was crazy. Okay. Just Jackie, if you're out there, Stella did not mean to do it.
Hey, she comes in a trap every now and then.
Does she really?
See her, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I see her and her sister every now and then. But
no, I remember that happened. Your mom does not let that go. She's like, "Do you remember that one time?" And I go, "I do indeed. I do indeed." Do you remember that one time when we were on
the imagination station?
Yeah, imagination station, and then we were arguing at some point, and we just slapped each other, and then went back to being.
And we walked through remember when your dad took us through the ditch to the Domino's? Like, we just, like, walked in that hole in the ground.
Yep. Anything for some pizza. We were walking
anything to save him some gas so we all didn't have to load up to drive right across the road. Also, do you remember in the 5th grade when they did that poetry contest?
Yeah.
I got my poem in a book one time, and it was, I can't remember, but it was about, like, rain.
Okay.
But I tried to look it up the other day, and I mean, there's no way I'm going to find it. But.
Right. There's all these things, I told her this earlier, but there's things that, like, you say, and all I hear is, like, kush, kush, and it's just 2 metal doors opening in my brain.
Bing, 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 bing.
Yeah. It's just the vault, and it's just, like, once the, like, memory she'll pull out, I'll be like, oh, I do remember that. No, literally. So I'm like, oh, yeah, that happened. Because I never remember.
Yeah.
What's your favorite band, obviously?
Yeah, I mean, I love Greta, I love Upper Room, I love Fleetwood Mac, I love Noah Kahan,
She's getting on the Ocean Alley train.
Yes, Ocean Alley's been stuck in my head all day. I've never touched a lick of any substance in my life, and I've literally been like, I'm so faded all day, and I'm like, what am I talking about right now? But I love them. They're really getting on me.
I still think we should go see them in concert. Troy,
how much are their tickets right now?
I don't know. I didn't look.
If anybody has tickets that they don't want or can't go, you can give them to me.
Just hand them on over.
Just
send them on over.
Just send them to us.
Just like under the desk. Just kidding.
What about you?
Favorite bands or groups or whatever? Queen, Hozier, Noah Kahan. What did you say?
That's what I said.
Yeah, Hozier, Noah Kahan. Right now I'm in a big Wham phase.
You love Michael Jackson?
I love Michael Jackson. Don't get me started. His music is so good. I'm trying to think. Definitely some Bosnian bands that I really like that still come around. So Biel Dogme and Crvena Jabuka. But yeah, I love Aretha Franklin though. She's so...
I love also.
Well, you like Bad Bunny, right? You gotta get the Hispanic audience of some
Bad
sort.
Bunny, I understand. Whatever else you just said, I don't understand. What else? My favorite food is soup, and most kinds of soup. I don't like sausage, and I don't like kale, so I don't like stuff like that. But what is my other? I love Mexican food, obviously. Birria is my favorite.
Food is steak. It's one of those. I don't know. I think I have a lot. Did I tell you I went to Chili's? And no, you don't usually get steaks from Chili's, okay? But I really wanted a steak that day. So I got a steak, and it was like a 32 ounce. I guess that's big. I don't know. In my head, that's not that big. And the guy comes over, and he's like, "Is this for one of y'all?" And I go, "Yeah, it's for me." And he's like, "Are you really going to finish that?" And I was like, "Yes. Give me the damn plate. I'll eat
finish it.
And I did in fact finish it and the mashed potatoes that were on the side, okay? That plate was clear. All you heard is kush, 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 and it was me scraping it. I guess I finished that whole thing, and he wanted to act like I wasn't going to finish it, okay? That's little funny. Lady, my butt. Listen, I'm going to finish a steak. You put a steak in front of me, I'm going to finish it.
What is that white chick scene? Dang, little lady. You sure can put it away.
Yeah. Yes. That's such a good reenactment of it.
My favorite is the dance scene where it's like, that's my favorite. Like, you can catch me anywhere doing that. And, I mean, I don't have the glow sticks, but if I did, it would be, like, spot on.
They should be on hand at all times.
I should just have had that role. I should have been Terry Crews.
Right.
Okay?
Right. I agree.
think we look alike, actually.
As being cut out. Bodybuilder. She's in her bodybuilder phase.
Speaking of, this is literally what I brought. It's my first competition jewelry ever.
Oh, I didn't know you got it.
Yeah, it came in today.
Wait, I want to see it. We're doing a haul now. Someone can't open the damn bag. Give me the mic.
Well, maybe if somebody would have helped me set up the dang microphone stand, we wouldn't be in this circle.
Okay, hear me out. I tried to help, and I didn't know how to do it. She did it last time.
ASMR. Is that nice? Do you enjoy that sound?
Nice.
Okay, good. I didn't think so. Anyway.
Oh, those are cute.
So I got these. They're like waterfall earrings, but you know, it's supposed to be dramatic. Like most people, like I would look at this in a normal setting and be like, that's hideous. But when you're on stage, like it has to be big.
Is that a ring?
Yes. Or because if it's not big, you can't see it.
Right.
Like so, like it has to stand out and be dramatic and stuff like that. This is a bracelet.
Okay.
And then this is another ring.
Mhm.
And then this is also a bracelet, which I wish gold was like a color you wear, but that's okay. I like the whiter silver look.
Right.
But yeah, this is my first competition jewelry.
Is there like a certain criteria for bodybuilding jewelry? Like, it can't be this or it can't be that, or it's just like it just has to be big and bold.
It just has to be tasteful, and it has to there's just like a theme. Like you could do a competition without jewelry.
Mhm.
It's just like. It's part of it, it's like blingy, it's flashy.
Right.
Bold and flashy, and so yeah, I mean I'm sure you get points like things you don't think about is like facial balance. So like a lot of them get facial balancing like in like Botox and like surgeries and stuff like that and things, because I mean after a while, like when your face sinks in and stuff, after you do like a lot of cutting and bulking, your face gets stretched from the fat, and then it gets sunken in from being so skinny. Then it starts to sag, so it just all plays into that. But I'm really excited, and Friday was my first weigh-in and stuff like that.
Yeah, like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, 5:30 a.m. I was freaking cringing. But it was like 5:30 in the morning before work, and I'm like freaking in the bathroom, like cringing myself out because I'm like, doing my little thing, my little back pose and stuff like that. And I literally apologized to the guy. I'm like, I'm so sorry, I have no posing experience.
Not the apology.
Yeah, it was bad. And my bank also wouldn't let me do like an overseas transaction, so then I had to wait till 9 o'clock, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't pay you for the next 2.5 hours. I'm really sorry. And he's like, it's fine. He's really nice.
Yeah.
He's really nice.
Shout out.
Now I'm patiently waiting for him to give me my program so I can like really get like, I think I'm in the bulking season now.
Right.
So I'm gonna be a little fluffy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited. And
is he Australian? Is what you said?
British.
He's British.
Yep.
Right. No.
Staring at the floor.
I hope it doesn't look awkward either, because obviously this is the first podcast, and it's like we've been friends for 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I hope people are not like, are you sure they've been friends? Because I'm like, we've been friends for forever, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know. But that's cool that you're doing the bodybuilding thing. If you can't tell, I don't do that. I don't go to the gym or none of that.
Well,
none of that.
We were gonna drag her along with us to go like to stand there and watch us, but then I ended up not having enough time, so we just ended up staying here and doing this.
Right.
So, yeah. But also, the only other thing is like the heels that you have to have. They're literally like stripper heels.
You have to wear heels?
I have to wear stripper heels.
For why? I mean, yeah, cause it's blingy and stuff. Like, that's crazy.
It does. It's like it makes your calves accentuated.
Okay.
And so it makes your like posing better, because you're like this. Mm-hmm. So then like when you stretch back, like all of your muscles are extended.
Right.
So like I think it also has to do with that. But also, I mean, it's just what it's always been. You know, it's just always been stripper heels. So
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Wait, that's wild.
Yeah.
That like I can like already feel that hurting, trying to do all that. Like, I personally can't pick up like the chocolate boxes sometimes at Trop, so I can't imagine having to do all that and then in heels.
Mm-hmm. But
shout out
hurts.
to y'all though. For real.
What hurts the worst is just trying to like arch your back enough to get the muscle group that you're looking for. And then you also have to like focus on like everything. So you have to suck your stomach in. You have to puff your chest out, keep your shoulders back. You got to kind of squeeze your back muscles. Then you got to make sure you're not squeezing your butt, but you're stretching your legs enough to where you'll see the muscle. And so it's just a whole ordeal. It's just a lot. It's hard.
You're about to be up in 24-hour fitness with some heels on.
Yeah, shout out bodybuilders, man. Shout out bodybuilders. It is hard.
Yeah, no, for real, because I like, y'all have got it.
But I definitely don't want to approach it in like an idealistic is it idolism, like, or idolatry, just where you like idol like a look or a physique or a person. You know, like I want it to be more about like the process. What makes bodybuilding so hard? Like, why is it a sport that not everybody can do? Like, like I want it to be also about like God. Like, I want people, because I know like a lot of people put a negative connotation towards it, especially like, you know, like that in that way, because they're like, oh, like it's showing skin, like it's overly sexual. But it's a sport just like anything else is.
Right.
Just like track is, just like basketball is, just like volleyball is. And they have all the girls in volleyball and track, they get flack too for gymnastics, because their outfits and stuff. But it's freaking hard.
Yes.
You know, like I can't do that. I can't go play college volleyball like that, you know, or any of those things. So, I mean, I definitely want there to be like I want it to have more respect. You know?
I agree.
That's why I became so interested in doing it, is because I want to help with the narrative that's over it. You know, some people are like that. Some people do just like, you know, they feel hot, and that's fine.
Which is fine, yeah.
But you know, that is not my reason, and that's also not, you can't like group people together.
Right.
You know? So that's kind of my take on that. But
that's really nice.
Yeah. Like, my girl's gonna be a detective.
Oh, here we go. Okay, I love talking about this.
So she was gonna be a paralegal?
A lawyer?
Oh, lawyer?
Yeah, lawyer, paralegal. It's okay. You gotta be. I mean, you can do the same thing. Like, you go through that path or whatever. But I was actually talking about it last night with I picked up a girl from the airport, and we were talking about it. And so I was definitely one of those people who like was in criminal justice field to be a lawyer, and like that's like still like an idea I could possibly have and like do it in the future. It's just something that like I am probably gonna put on the back burner for now. I intern at a police department, in a very fun unit. Not fun for the people within the unit.
Yeah.
That like we have to deal with, but it's very interesting to do.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out if you guys know what I'm talking about. But it's super fun, and it's very interesting because I've learned a lot. I've learned how to do fingerprinting. I've learned how to find fingerprints on certain objects, so like bottles, and then like obviously there's magnetic fingerprinting powder. There's like basic yellow, which helps you find fingerprints on bottles, and you put it in like a type of like fuming chamber or whatever, and you let it sit there, and then like once you pull it out, all the white spots will show you where the fingerprints are. You can do it on paper. You can do it on basically almost anything. You can do it on tape. Even if it's on the sticky side of tape, you can find fingerprints that way. When I was learning how to do fingerprints, though, I dropped the tape and contaminated my evidence. It wasn't real evidence, okay? It was my own fingerprints, but it was just highly embarrassing because I dropped it in front of the detectives that were teaching me, and I was like, I'm sorry. Plus a sergeant. And I was like, my bad, my bad. I mean, and I've also learned, like, certain blood splatters and, like, blood patterns. I've also learned, like, to look at the way, like, a scene is set up to see whether or not to determine if it's a homicide or if it's a suicide or stuff like that, or if like a suicide has been planned as a homicide.
Yeah.
Wait, if a homicide was set up as a suicide is what I mean. But it's very interesting to me, and it really piques my interest. And I also like, I mean, I want to do it to help those families that have to be in those situations. Like, those families want peace. They want to be able to find the people that did that to their usually their kids. Like, and especially like here where we live, a lot of it is the younger generations, and that's a lot harder to deal with. So, like, I want to bring peace to those people. Like, it's very difficult to deal with those situations. And, like, when I started, it was difficult. But you have to find a medium in it. You can't, like, it is a difficult job to have. But you can't constantly ponder on it or it will eat you alive. That's what I've been taught by the rest of the detectives who work with me.
Yeah.
But it is interesting and it is so fun. And I really hope that, like, because I'm going to finish my undergrad. I'm going to go to grad school and hope that once I get an internship in grad school that it aligns with something that I really want to do. Because I know the school I go to now does an internship with NCIS, and so I could possibly go there. Just, I don't know, we'll see. But that's really something I want to do.
Yeah.
I had a situation last year with, this is very public knowledge, but Jason Chen, if you guys want to look him up, he killed a girl. He went to UTC with me, and he went to UTC with this other girl, and I don't know, I'm blocked out UTC, but he killed this girl, and then he ran away to Nashville, hid in his parents' house. His parents hid him, first of all. Like, I know for a fact...
murderer's son.
I know for a fact that, like, if we murdered somebody, I think our parents would very much be like, hello, my daughter's here. Like...
Yeah, come get her.
I know, because, like, that's... I could not do that as a parent.
Yeah.
Like, of course you love your child, but, like, when your child has done something that's downright evil like that, and you think it's okay to hide them after the fact, that, that daughter didn't have parents, too. The guy killed her, and she's got parents. She's got a whole family. Like, what about her, you know? Like, what about how they feel?
Yeah.
And there was no remorse in the situation. He stuck her in, like, a suitcase and threw her in the woods.
Didn't he chop her up, too?
I think so. There's definitely, like, some versions are that they cut her up, but I think he just stuffed her in there type of way. But it's just crazy because, like, there's no remorse in that situation. He just, like, dumped the body in there and, like, was like whatever, and then like tried to say that he didn't do it, and like had texted her parents trying to act like her as if they weren't gonna notice, and he put her car in a random parking lot. Like, it was all it's so scary too, like that stuff happened where we live, you know. And my friend was super close friends with her, so it's just like
our friend also lived in the same neighborhood as his parents.
Yep. Yeah. And she went to high school with him.
Yeah, that's nuts. Or maybe that's what it was.
I think it both applied.
Oh.
I think both applies.
Also, I feel like if my child killed somebody in self-defense, I would protect them, like, wholeheartedly.
Yeah. Self-defense, I get.
But any other way, like, if there was malicious intent, I'd be like, hand me the chick. Hand it over.
Right.
Take them. Have them.
Right. Because, like, there's just, obviously those are your kids and you birth them, but it's like, when they do something that's, like, evil like that they, like, just, like, obviously are, if it's not in the category of self-defense, don't expect me to, like, no, I just can't defend that. Like, what?
And I would have to feel, like, somewhat responsible, too, because, like, at what point in my parenting, like, did I go wrong? Like, what happened, you know, like, what, sometimes, like, they're too spoiled, and they feel like God, and, like, they feel like they can do anything, you know, and, like, not have repercussions.
Right.
Sometimes, you know, like, maybe you just missed the mark on something. Maybe you just, maybe you were too strict or not strict enough, or maybe they were outside killing animals and you never noticed, and
right.
Maybe something happened. Like you just like you have to feel a little guilty, and it probably like is a terrible way to think. So like if anybody ends up in that situation, God forbid, but like I don't think they should feel ashamed of themselves.
Right, I agree with you.
But I can imagine how that feels.
Yeah.
I'm sure they felt just as dirty as him.
Like I can sit here and say like I would never do that and like this and that and like I can't believe his parents did that, but at the same time like those are his parents and like maybe they think like he didn't mean it or he didn't do this because like he could tell them anything. Like it's
maybe
just
they're in denial.
Yeah, that too. Like I don't know. It's all that is crazy to me. Like also when people have like when kids have parents who've done stuff like that too, like serial killer parents or whatever, and they have kids and they're like, oh yeah, my parent was a serial killer. I'm like, that's crazy. Like you just don't live a normal life like that. Yeah. Like there's just constant, unless people don't know it as much, but like let's say you go into like a federal field or something that has to do with the government, they do background checks and it leads to that. Like there's all that stuff, But I'm getting off topic, but that's crazy.
What would you consider a normal life?
What would I consider a normal life?
Not ours.
I know.
Now, yeah.
Yeah, now our life's pretty normal, but when we were kids, bro, our life was not normal. We at least we had each other to like, at least we're in the same age group too when we had each other. I kind of feel bad for John because John had you too, but like at the same time he's also older and like I only wonder like what it was like for a little bit when he was just like an only child. How that felt. So
and then it just kept growing and growing and growing,
It did
6
not
kids
stop.
deep,
Right. Like when we would get out of cars, when we were gonna
the
playground.
You're like 1, 2.
It's like a
with you and
a
Layla.
Car.
Yeah, with you and Layla was 8.
I know. How we fit is miraculous to me because like despite her SUV, we could not all fit. And then we were sitting to his laps on the floorboards in the trunk.
We were hiding.
Us on the freaking
oh my
car.
gosh! When we went to a restaurant, we had to like call ahead and say that we were having a party. Like,
and they're like, "Oh, that's a lot of friends. Is this your friends?" No, this is our family.
Yeah. Are you guys Italian? No.
It was just crazy to me. That's crazy. Also, like, I just like imagine. Because, where we work, like, when you see a bus full of people, we're like, dang, that's a lot of people. When I see a car full of people and they come out too, I get the same reaction. I'm like, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, if all of us went into, like, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, and if I was able to be a kid and a worker at the same time, I'd be like, heck no.
Right.
Get out. There's the door. Right back where you came in from. See you later.
See ya later.
I'm clocking out. That is a lot. That'd be like a $200 order for...
It would be
10 people.
So much money. Yeah.
Do you remember when we used to go to the river park and we would sleep there overnight in the ghetto in like freaking scary parts of town?
No, but then do you remember one time? This is like such a big memory of mine. When like the mulch would like not the mulch but the leaves would like it'd be fall and the leaves in the ditch in that huge
and you just fall in there. We would all just jump.
We would jump into this huge ditch where we don't know what's in the ditch. There's snakes, rats, poisonous stuff, and we would be jumping in there for fun. Like, yeah, let's go. And John influenced us too.
Yes, he did, and he always got hurt the worst.
Yes,
he would always like, oh, I think I broke something.
You would like run and jump in there, and it was deep. Like, if we just assumed it was just leaves,
you just boom. Your shoulder's dislocated, but it's okay. Eddie will just throw some toilet paper on it, and it's fine.
That's it. He'll wrap it up with the toilet paper and call it a day.
Be like, you're fine. You're fine.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
That's so
you're
funny.
okay. You're okay. Here, have some bread. Go eat steak.
Meat. Chicken.
Just to preface this, we live in one of probably the top 10 most dangerous cities in the United States. We were sleeping in an open park, the biggest park in the downtown area.
Also, it's illegal to like sleep down there. I don't know how we were.
Well, like, they would come get us sometimes.
People.
Yeah.
Oh, true. But there's like patrol security people that would like patrol it, and like they would just like ignore the fact that we were like sleeping there
till at least about 5 in the morning.
Yep.
And then I think it changed once that situation happened where all the police officers were murdered in that area.
Yeah.
Literally the office that's in that park, they were murdered as like an act of terrorism, I think.
Right.
But
something like that.
Yeah, and so that's the same park we were sleeping in overnight, all of us little children. So
it's crazy to me.
But those were memories that I will never forget.
I know.
Like there was the river, you could go to the dock, and you could like, and we always pretended.
But it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And there was always kids in the there's like a open amphitheater looking area, and you could like play football, and there's always kids playing. They had an ice cream truck there all the time.
Yo, shout out to that ice cream truck because listen, that ice cream truck hit every time we were there. Every time.
Had the best playground. The friggin' woods was a playground too. You were always playing in the dang woods, in the leaf ditches. Yeah. We always found cats and animals.
She took a cat home one time. What did you call it again? What was its name? Ah, frick, that was a good cat too.
I don't know what cat I took home. I thought we took the only cat I remember us probably taking home was like a brown one, but we bought Mew.
Yeah.
We bought Mew, and then my other cat, Bees, gave birth to Jeff and 2 other kittens, which I gave away.
Right.
But I love Jeff.
Rest in peace, Jeff.
Yeah, and Mew. I stopped touching him after he got the stuff on his ears, but that's besides the point.
Right.
Sculptures and stuff. But there was always some weird stuff happening by the bathrooms. Like, you always had to be careful because you never really knew if you were going to get, like, kidnapped or not.
Especially at night because the bathrooms were, like, one and one, and it was like this narrow hallway in between the bathrooms, but like the women's and men's bathroom doors would face each other, and it was like really weird. Like I don't understand why it was
very like, eerie, very like uncanny valley for sure.
Oh
and,
yeah.
And like at the end, sometimes there'd be like random cars over there too, like and you just like didn't know, you know.
Now on the side where like the fireplace is, the majority of the forest is like torn down, and now there's like other sculptures and stuff. Yeah. They, like, tore down some of it. I went, not recently, but a couple months ago, I went and we walked it or whatever, and I was like, I don't remember that being there or that being there, and they had added other stuff, but, like, they, like, tore down, like, the forest or whatever, and I'm like, that's the best part! That was the best part!
We were playing Warrior Cats I know. There, man!
Shout out Warrior Cats. Okay, that's how I grew up.
We were definitely, I don't know, I wouldn't call it being a furry. Because we weren't being furries.
No, but I refuse.
We were children with imagination. And
kids should have imagination. Let's talk about that. Because I was telling a friend today, if my kid is not playing outside until like 10 at night and I can't find them and like...
iPad kids are scary, dude.
No, yeah, and the iPad kids, like, it's just like when you're young, your brain is a huge sponge. And then you're
susceptible?
Yeah, susceptible. Wow, it's susceptible to anything and everything, and you get all this stuff from like online, and like, yeah, parents can like lock it or whatever, but there's always certain things, you know, and like, yes, those kids will learn it in school, and that's fine, but like, I want my kids to play outside, and like, I played outside. Like, I remember playing outside with you, me, the guy who lived behind my house, and we'd play outside for hours. Like my parents they wouldn't know where we were, and then all of a sudden we'd come home at like 10 o'clock. Yes, let me be for real, it is dangerous, but like we were just kids, you know. No, because my imagination led me places as kids. Are you kidding me? Like I was the Queen of England at some point.
Yeah.
Okay,
I thought I was Christina Aguilera.
No, shout out to her. She was an icon.
X-pop when we were little, and it was Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera and
Jennifer Lopez. Listen.
Yeah, Natasha Bedingfield, is that how you say her name?
I don't know.
But she was really popular, like
Timberland. Shout out to
Justin Timberlake.
Oh my gosh.
Their prime eras.
Yes, Bruno Mars. I'm just so sad that his concerts are like very few, or like you don't find out about them until like 2 days prior or whatever. Like, and they're really expensive, which is like valid, but like I want to see him, but I don't want to spend $1,000 on nosebleeds. Like, it's just expensive, you know?
Yeah. If anybody has tickets to go to Las Vegas and see Bruno
Give
Mars,
those over, too.
Yeah, you can donate here, please.
We'll just make a donation box.
Yeah.
You can donate to our P.O. box.
That's funny.
I just really want Bruno Mars tickets. I want to see him so bad. I talk about it all the time. I love him. I also wish I could have saw. Yeah. I wish I could have saw Silk Sonic. Right.
Reggie?
Who's somebody that you would like really want to see? Dead or alive? Dead or alive?
I was gonna say Jesus, but then I realized that was a dumb answer because I'm gonna see him one day and he's around me all the time. So, on a more literal note, probably Stevie Nicks or Morrissey from the Smiths or The Cure or Adam Sandler.
Oh my god!
I would love to meet Adam Sandler. That would be awesome. I did not know
that was gonna be something you said out of all the options. Dude, it created our childhood. You know what? I'm just now remembering. This has nothing to do with Adam Sandler, but the Chihuahua movies. Chihuahuas in
Beverly Hills, Chihuahua.
That movie. What was up with all animals as kids? Because we had warrior cats, Beverly Hills Chihuahuas, Alpha and Omega.
Was a man's best friend, you know, like you want to be able to talk to them. That's
right.
And PBS, they set us up to fail.
What was
Martha Speaks.
Martha Speaks.
Wild Kratts.
Listen, Wild Kratts was so good. So good. The show, the games, everything was so good. Oh my gosh, I forgot about Beverly Hills Chihuahuas. Low-key, that movie hits. Like, that's where I learned my sarcasm from.
I love George Lopez.
I know. There's like, do you remember?
George Lopez.
Like when he had a show or whatever. Was it just called George Lopez?
You're so low rider.
Was it just called George Lopez? Was that what it was called? Either way, I just always remember I'd like be sleeping at night and I'd wake up in like a cold sweat and I wouldn't know where I was.
And Casey, I'm jumping on the trampoline.
I'm like, what is going on?
What's going on? What's happening? They're gonna turn it off right here.
I know. Womp womp.
Womp womp. What's gonna be our last subject
of the podcast?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, thanks for tuning in to those of you who did, and if you didn't, you're lame and you suck. And
not the criticism is not going.
If you fall in a ditch, I won't be there to help you out. I'm just kidding.
No, it's just not.
Yes, I am. Don't be a liar.
I'm kidding.
You're supposed to tell the truth.
I'm kidding. I'm always honest.
But yeah, we're trying to do another episode at least every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks guys.
Listen, you come back, we'll talk about 50 other random topics.
Like, yeah, more stories.
There's not really a trajectory to this. Like we talk about everything and anything.
Yeah, everything we know, and we're still learning.
We're 20-somethings, and we're learning.
Hey, trust me, we've seen a lot of things.
I know. For being 20.
Frick around and find or mess around and find out.
I'm leaving that in because the way you messed up and then tried to recover.
It's like I fell on my face and I got a little skid mark, but then I got back up and we were okay. Just a little blood.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, you're gonna come.
All right. Thank you guys. We'll see you on the next episode.
What are we gonna